Eshani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I'm going to be talking all about the new Urban Decay and Alice Through the Looking Glass collaboration collection. I'm sure that you guys are already aware that Urban Decay did collaborate with Disney and the new Alice in Wonderland movie, and they released an eyeshadow palette and a collection of 5 different lipsticks. Now in today's video, I'm mainly going to be talking about the eyeshadow palette, but I did pick up one lipstick from the collection, so I will talk about that as well. So let's just jump right into the review. This is the outer box packaging that the eyeshadow palette comes in. It does lay out all of the eyeshadow colors you're getting inside, and then this is what the actual palette itself looks like. The palette itself retails for $60, which is typically the price of an Urban Decay Book of Shadows type palette. I do really love the pattern that's on the actual palette. It is all the way around it. I think it's very cute. There is a lot of really nice detail on this palette, I will say that. On the very top, it does say Urban Decay and then Alice Through the Looking Glass. On the bottom where the little drawer is, it does have a little quote, and the quote itself says, "I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I must have changed several times since then," which is really cute. If you're already familiar with Urban Decay's old school Book of Shadows palettes, you guys know the way that this one is laid out. The top flips up, as most of them do. There is a little mirror on this one, and on the mirror here, I don't know if you guys can even tell, but it does say "We're all mad" here. It's just etched on the mirror, which is cute. And then below the mirror, there is this little trap door, which once again has a quote on it, which is really cute. It says, "I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours." And then I'm gonna try to show you guys this. The little trap door opens, and there's like this little psychedelic little pop-up butterfly type thing, which, you know, it's just cute. It's just there for decoration. It serves no actual purpose. And now on to the actual reason that you would pay $60 for this, the makeup. So the little drawer does slide down here like this, and the drawer does pop completely out of the palette really easily, which I do like because, I mean, the palette itself is bulky, as you would expect. These are all of the shadows you are getting in the palette itself. You are getting 20 different powder shadows, and then you are getting this little double-ended brush at the bottom. Here's what the brush itself looks like. On one side, you're getting kind of like a flat shader type brush, and then on the other side, you're getting a crease brush, and it does have that really nice little psychedelic print on it. I will say that I think this palette and this packaging is very cute. Urban Decay did an awesome job. I mean, even the back of the drawer has printing on it. It's very detail oriented, which I love. I really like the way that they did this eyeshadow layout, how it kind of looks 3D. I mean, this is all a flat cardboard, but it kind of looks like the shadows themselves are kind of like pressed in, which is very cool. Now, according to the diagram on the back of the box, Urban Decay did intend for there to be different looks according to the different columns. So according to the back of the box, the first column here is supposed to be Alice. This is the Mad Hatter. The middle one is Mirana. This one down here is Elizabeth, and the last column down here is Time. Now, since Urban Decay did take the time to make those specific eyeshadow groupings, I will go ahead and just swatch this entire palette in columns the way they are intending them to be used. So here we have swatches of the first column in the palette, which is meant to be the Alice look. From left to right, we have Looking Glass, Reflection, Dormouse, and Metamorphosis. I will say overall the quality of this particular column is okay. I definitely think Metamorphosis, that bright periwinkle blue, is the most unique color, but as you can see, it's not the greatest swatch. Here are swatches of the second column in the palette. This is meant to be the Mad Hatter column. From left to right, we have Hatter, Gone Mad, Paradox, and Cake. I definitely think this is one of the better columns in the palette. I really like most of these shades. I definitely think Paradox, which is that kind of orangey copper color, is probably one of the most unique colors in this entire palette. Here we have swatches of the middle column in the palette. This is the Mirana look. From left to right, we have Lily, Duchess, Kingdom, and Chessboard. I think if you use this column by itself, it would give you a really nice kind of everyday neutral eye with a little bit of a twist, because the first two shades, Lily and Duchess, do have a little bit of duochrome in them, which makes them a little unique. Here are swatches of the fourth column in the palette. This is meant to be the Elizabeth look. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. From left to right, we have Heads Will Roll, Bandersnatch, Salazen Grum, and Royal Flush. I think the quality of this column in general is probably the best out of this entire palette. Each and every color, I would say, does have a slight unique twist, and they all swatch out and perform really, really well. And then this is the final column in the palette. This is meant to be the Time column. From left to right, we have Time, Dream On, Chronosphere, and Mirror. That first shade, Time, is very, very, very unique. I think this is probably my favorite single color in this entire palette. Dream On, which is the second color, you can see doesn't swatch very great. It's just kind of like a chunky glitter. So those were the swatches of this entire palette on my skin tone. So hopefully those helped you guys out. I will say that the quality of this palette overall is very, very hit and miss. I found that to be the case with a lot of Urban Decay's bigger palettes like this, especially recently. I feel like sometimes they do release unique colors, but the quality isn't always there. And while I do feel like a lot of these do swatch nicely, there are, you know, those couple that are pretty much duds. Now, one thing I did want to do was I wanted to compare this new Alice Through the Looking Glass palette to the original Urban Decay Alice in Wonderland palette. I haven't seen a lot of people do this, and it's probably because a lot of people don't own this palette anymore. This was a very, very long time ago, very limited edition palette. I was lucky to get my hands on it, to be perfectly honest. I did talk about this palette in my Holiday Palettes Throwback Thursday video, which was actually a really fun video to do. I need to do more of those. But anyways, you guys probably have seen this. It's pretty old, but I did want to show you guys this palette next to the new one. So there you guys have a little side by side. Obviously, this one is the new one, and this one is the really, really old one. And obviously, the new palette does have a lot more colors in it. This one has 20, this one only has 16. And one thing I will say about the old palette is that all of these colors are all permanent shades in the Urban Decay eyeshadow line. Basically, Urban Decay just took a lot of their best-selling shades, put them in a palette, and then just renamed the colors to kind of match with the Alice in Wonderland theme, which is not what they did with the new palette, which I'm happy. I'm happy that they released new colors, because for somebody who has a lot of Urban Decay palettes like myself, I would much rather have one of their new palettes contain all new colors, which this one does. So in terms of my overall thoughts on this palette, do I think it is an absolute must-have? Of course, if you are an Alice in Wonderland lover and you're excited for this new movie to come out, you're probably going to want to snatch it up. But in terms of uniqueness of the colors, I think it's kind of hit and miss. I honestly think you're going to have to decide whether you will use a palette like this or whether some of these colors are unique to your collection. Is it an absolute must-have or something that you can't live without? Definitely not. I think it's definitely one of those more specific to your taste and according to what you already own type of purchases. I will say that Urban Decay did an awesome job with the packaging on the palette. 2 thumbs up from me. And speaking of packaging, the lipstick. I am so conflicted with the lipsticks that they released in this collection. They released 5 different shades. They are $18 a piece, and I only picked up 1. You guys know, if you know me or my channel at all, that if I only pick up 1 of your lipsticks, there's something wrong. So let me just talk about this real quick. This is the outer box that the lipstick comes in. Very, very cute. This is the outer packaging. It comes in the exact same tube as the new Gwen Stefani lipsticks, and I believe the new Urban Decay lipstick formula that they're releasing of like 100 shades, which is called the Vice lipsticks, I believe those are coming in the exact same packaging, which let me just tell you here and now, I don't really like it. The thing I really dislike about this packaging is, yes, it does have UD stamped at the top, like you can see, but the fact that it is Alice Through the Looking Glass or that it's a special collection is not written anywhere on this packaging, which I don't like. And also, I don't know, the design on this just looks cheap. And I know part of it is because it's just a plastic, but also, I don't know if you'll be able to tell on camera, but there's like a seam where the design was kind of printed and wrapped around, where it's just not like, it's not cohesive. Like, it doesn't work all the way around it. Does that make sense? Anyways, the entire cap lifts off of the lipstick, and then this is the color that I got. The shade that I ended up picking up is called Mirana, and it's one of their metallized finishes. Now, the reason I only picked this one up is because this one did swatch very nice. It is a metallic finish. It is what I'm wearing on my lips right now, so if you guys are curious to know how it looks, this is how it looks. It's kind of like a semi-sheer to buildable finish. It's creamy, it's opaque, it's comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel glittery or anything, but it definitely gives a nice metallic finish on the lips. I do like the formula, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with the formula. I will say that the blue shade was pretty sheer, almost like a jelly blue color with some glitter specks in it. Not really my cup of tea. The bright purple had some silver glitter, which I thought was really cool, and I think I may go pick that one up. The red was a classic red lipstick, something that I'm kind of over with the Gwen Stefani lipsticks. I have enough red lipstick from Urban Decay. And then the nude color was too light for me. So basically, this was the only one that I was like kind of excited about, but after really kind of seeing and feeling the packaging of it, I don't know. I'm just not really excited about it, to be perfectly honest. I don't even know if I'm very excited about the reformulated versions of these new Urban Decay lipsticks that are coming out. Anyways, that pretty much wraps up everything I have to say about this new Alice Through the Looking Glass collection collaboration with Urban Decay. I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. Don't forget to thumbs it up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys in my next video on Thursday. I will see you then. Bye! The quality of every single shadow in this palette is very good. So I love this. Of the new Milani More Metallics lip cream.